Good afternoon, Dead Ball baseball fans. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we're coming to you live from Washington Park, home of the Brooklyn Superbas, as we kick off our 1908 Beyond the Merkle game replay. And again, just to give you a quick rundown of what this entails, the infamous Fred Merkle game between the Giants and Cubs took place on September 23rd, 1908. And in that game, we'll actually, real quickly about it in the video I did yesterday, but basically Fred Merkle failed to touch second base after the game-winning hit was scored for the Giants. Johnny Evers attempted to get the umpire's attention and tag second base, which would have been a force out according to the rules, to end the game. And chaos ensued, and basically at that point the game was called a tie and a replay scheduled if needed, and turned out the game was indeed needed as the Cubs and Giants ended the 1908 season tied, and the Cubs of course won that game and went on to defeat the Tigers in the 1908 World Series. So we are replaying from September 24th on all the games of the Cubs, the Giants, and also the Pirates, who were only one game in back of those two teams at that point in time. And Al, Red Sox fan, has joined us at the ballpark on his way home from work. So welcome, Al. And that's basically a background of the replay. So this will be the home stretch of the 1908 pennant chase. And again, all of the Pirates, Giants, and Cubs games will be played out. And I also accumulated stats up through September 23rd for each of those three teams, and we will add the stats accumulated during the replay to those. So that said, our first game is Pittsburgh at Brooklyn, and we'll go through the lineups real quick. And again, coming from Washington Park. For the Pirates, leading off Roy Thomas in center, Fred Clark in left, Tommy Leach at third, Hannes Wagner at short, Ed Apaticcio at second, Alan Stork at first, Spike Shannon left, George Gibson catching, and on the hill for the Buccos is Vic Willis. And Willis had a fine 1908 season, finishing with a record of 23-11 with a 1.01 whip. And for the homestanding Superbas, it will be Tom Catterson in center, Harry Lumley in right, John Hummel in left, Tim Jordan at first, Whitey Alperman at second, Tommy McMillan at short, Tommy Sheehan at third, Lou Ritter catching, and George Bell, who had an abysmal 1908. He had a record of 4-15 with one save. He is on the hill for Brooklyn. So in real life, the Pirates, and basically the Pirates will need to make up some games they lost in this stretch run. They won this game 6-1 in real life, so they're going to need to hold serve here. And we will start with our bullpen session, going first with Willis to see which column he pitches in, and a 15. And he is going to be going from the C column, his bad stuff. And as a reminder there, I'm going to house rule that. I will check for anything outside of the normal stuff rating, which is the B. I will check again after 3 innings to see if the pitcher has improved or regressed if he rolls an A. So for George Bell, it sure would help the Superbas, and he's got his average stuff, so he will go out of the B column, and we're ready to go. So we will get this underway. And Matt has also joined us at the ballpark. Welcome, my friend. Here we go, our first game of the replay. And again, I'll be using the fast action cards in conjunction with the dice. So pitching to Thomas is George Bell to lead this game off, and 26 against a right-hander. That would be a single. Bell is a right-hander, so forget that. Thomas leads off the game with a single. So Pittsburgh starting to threaten early here, and I'll use the automatic steal system as well. And just so you know, whenever there's a plus after a safe hit result on the card, I will then roll for a jump and resolve the steal in that fashion. So Fred Clark is a batter and hitting away, 51. And right away we go to the KD defensive chart, and 51 potential error on the shortstop. And at short, this will be a one base error. At short for the Superbas is McMillan. He has an error rating of 10. And Brooklyn off to a rough start in this one, E6, as the Pirates put the first two base runners on. Tommy Leach, the batter, hitting in the third spot. And 62, Tommy Leach, that is going to go to the pitcher's card, and that will be an out in the C column. Actually, just missed a strikeout there. So runners on first and second, fielder's choice at second. Shortstop with a strong arm turns a double play, and at short for the Superbas is McMillan. He's got a weak arm, so no double play there. And that will put runners at the corners. So erased at second base is Clark. And going to third is leadoff batter Thomas. And on with the fielder's choice is Tommy Leach. Hannes Wagner, the batter. And Wagner, the Pirates' cleanup hitter, 66. And Hannes drives that into the outfield. That's going to get down for a double and base hit to right field. First to home runner scores if a weak or average arm in right field. And in right field is Harry Lumley. He does indeed have an average arm, so that clears the bases. And coming in to score is Leach and Thomas, and the Pirates jump off to a 2-0 lead here on the 2 RBI double by Hannes Wagner. And there you see, just with the fast action cards, how they interact and how the results gives a variance on the results. Very cool feature, and definitely one of the big main reasons I purchased this game and really am enjoying it so much so far. As Ed Apaticio steps in. And Apaticio, 44, and that is going to be a single. So second to home scores, F will score. Oh, I'm sorry. Second to home scores F. A fast runner will go to second on the throw. Apaticio is not. So Hannes Wagner crosses a plate, and Pittsburgh up 3-0 early in this one. And first baseman Alan Stork steps up. And Pittsburgh looks to pile it on, and we go to the 54 chart. And that's kind of like a anything can happen type of chart. So we have a runner on first base. Refer to the pitcher's wild pitch rating, and if 14 falls within the range, it is a wild pitch. Runners advance, and this is not above that range, so we will move on. Reroll that, and double ones, that's going to be an out for Stork. And with a runner on first base, it advances to second. 4-3 is the putout. So 2 down, and anything that scores after this point is going to be an unearned run, as that should have been out number 3, and Spike Shannon steps up. So runner on second base, here comes a pitch from Bell, and 46. It's going to go to the ballpark, and no home run chance on that, so a roll of 12 where we check the ballpark card. And 12 is going to be a foul out, and for the left-handed batter, it's going to be a foul out to the third baseman. So F5 on that side is retired, and Pittsburgh jumps up on top. 3 hits, an error, and 3 runs across the plate. So we head to the bottom of the first inning. Pirates 3 and Superbas 0. So Pittsburgh off to the start they needed. And go Brooklyn Superbas. Welcome, my friend Robert. All right, bottom of the first inning, and Brooklyn has some work to do. And again, Willis going out of the C column, so that will be an advantage to them. And starting it off is Catterson. And Catterson's going to be a ground ball down to second base. Easy play there. As Apaticio records the out, 1 down. Harry Lumley, the batter. Here comes a pitch, and Lumley, it's going to be another ground ball, and off the white dice, that'll be a ground ball down to second base. Apaticio again, so 2 up, 2 down, and despite the fact that Willis is not sharp, the Brooklyn bats are in worse shape than his arm is. John Hummel, the third place hitter, steps up, and 31 for Hummel, and that's going to be a single off of the pitcher's card, Willis. So Willis hangs a 2-2 pitch high. Hummel drives it into the outfield. And the Superbas looking for a little 2-out lightning here. Tim Jordan, the batter. Cleanup hitter, and 46 from Jordan. Going to the ballpark card, and 12. Jordan is a left-handed hitter. That's going to be a foul out to the third baseman as well. And the same way that the Pirates were retired in the top of the inning, the Superbas go down in the bottom. It's 3-0 as we head to inning number 2. And for Pittsburgh, it's going to be George Gibson, Vic Willis, the pitcher, then back to the top of the order. George Bell, after a rough first, retakes the hill for Brooklyn. And 21, he's going to start a little bit better this time, as that is a right-handed batter. Ground ball down to third base, and up with that at third for the Superbas is Sheehan. Long throw across the diamond, and Gibson is retired by a step at first. As the pitcher spot, Vic Willis comes up. Willis takes to that 3-run lead, which he may need, not having his best stuff today. 54, and so we go to the 54 chart. And bases empty. Fly ball to left field, roll versus error rating for an error. If an error occurs, go to the exotic error chart, otherwise fly out. So in left field is Hummel. And 17 is above 7, so that will indeed be a fly out. Willis is retired, and back to the top of the order for Pittsburgh. So you see off these fast action cards how so many different adverse results, or I should say diverse results, come into play. Superb is one of the best team names. I agree. They had some cool names there. Captain Carl has joined us. Welcome, my friend. As top of the second inning, Roy Thomas, who led off the game with a single and scored. It's going to be a 64, and we go to Bell's card. And again, pitching on his average stuff. That's going to be a ground ball down to shortstop, and Thomas is thrown out. So Bell rebounds from a disastrous first inning. We head to the bottom of the second. Pittsburgh up on top of Brooklyn 3-0, and it's going to be Alperman, McMillan, and Sheehan for the Superbas. And 66, and Whitey Alperman takes a big cut at that, almost got it in the gap, but luckily it was cut off out there. He's going to be held to a single. If that had eluded the outfielder, that would have rolled to the wall, and Alperman would have been around to third base. Split chance there on the triple, and that'll bring up Tommy McMillan. And McMillan checks the first base coach, and 11, that would be a good roll if he was a good hitter. Instead, that's going to be a ground ball down to second base, and that will be a 4-6-3 double play unless McMillan is an F, which he is not. He would have beat the throw in that case, but quickly retired. And that's going to go Apaticio to Wagner, and over to first base to Stork. So the leadoff single goes to waste for Brooklyn, and that brings up Tommy Sheehan. These cards are really nice. They are a little bit slick, as you can tell, but really, really good quality cards. Just a notch below payoff pitch, quite honestly. And 16 to Sheehan. And that is going to do it as a ground ball down to second base. Apaticio with a short throw to first. And Brooklyn gets a hit, leaves nobody, no runs, no errors. We head to the top of the third inning. It is Pittsburgh 3 and Brooklyn 0. For the Pirates, it will be Fred Clark, Tommy Leach, and Hannes Wagner. Clark reached on a E6, his first time up. Here comes a pitch, 63. And we will go to Bell's card, and that's going to be an out to start the third inning. A ground ball down to first base, and taking that himself to the bag is Jordan. 3 unassisted, 1 down for Tommy Leach, and the ancient one, Tommy Leach, had a bit of a rejuvenating season, not this year, but in 1909 for the Pirates as they took the World Series that year over the Tigers. 15 to Leach, that's going to be an out. And Leach, the right-handed batter, ground ball down to third base, and long throw across the diamond for Sheehan, 5-3 on the putout, and Bell now, after that rough first inning, has retired 7 in a row. That'll bring up Hannes Wagner. And Hannes had a 2 RBI double back in the first. The Pirate great. Wait for the sign, and here comes a pitch, and Wagner drives that back up the middle, and that's going to be a single and a possible stolen base attempt. 10 against his stolen base rating is he will get a jump. And an average arm behind the plate for Lou Ritter, so it is going to be a straight roll on Wagner's steal rating, which is a 16. Here comes a pitch. Wagner takes off down to second base and easily beats the throw. So stolen base for Hannes and the Pirates once again with the runner in scoring position as Ed Apaticio steps in, and the second baseman had an RBI single his first time up. 1-2 on the roll, and that is going to be Apaticio, a right-handed batter, ground ball down to third base, and side is going to be retired as Wagner is stranded. So the Pirates get a hit, leave one. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Pittsburgh holding that 3-0 lead they accumulated in the first. Yeah, Bean Eaters was good. Go back to the 1800s, there were some pretty good. I actually hope, since Cleveland is apparently renaming their team, I would like to see them revive the Cleveland Spiders. And the Cleveland Spiders, of course, the 1899 version, the probably worst team in the history of baseball. They went 20-134 that year. So here we go. Highlanders is another great name as well. I actually prefer that over Yankees. I know that may sound blasphemous, but I do. Lou Ritter set to lead it off for the Superbas against Willis. And that is going to be, wow, that's usually a hit. And Ritter, with his lofty 192 batting average in 1908, that's going to be a ground ball down to first base. So much for that stellar roll as a 3 unassisted. Bring up the pitcher spot, George Bell, who is actually a better hitter than the preceding batter. Willis gets a sign, and Willis, it's going to be a 52-7 on the strikeout chart. He would have needed a 1 there, so we're going to go to the defensive chart. And 52 will be a potential error on the second baseman. And at second base for the Buccos with an error rating of 7 is Apaticio, actually very good for that time period. And Bell's going to be retired 4-3. As we take it back to the top of the order for Brooklyn now, as Tommy Catterson grounded out to Apaticio his first time up, and here comes a pitch and another lofty 191 average. So 2 good rolls wasted to crappy batters, as that's going to be a ground ball, and first baseman's going to take that himself. So 2 unassisted ground outs to first as the Superbas go down 1-2-3 in the third, heading to the fourth. It is 3-0. Pittsburgh up on top. Yes, the 1899 Spiders were terrible. So here we go. Alan Stork leading it off, and we've got a split result and 16. Stork, he's going to drive that over the left fielder's head, and his wheels are turning around second base. Here comes the throw into third. He is safe with the leadoff triple. So the hits keep on coming for the Pirates as that brings up Spike Shannon. Nobody out, runner at third, and the infield is going to come in. Here comes a pitch. 21, and that is going to be an out. Runner, let's see. Runner on third is going to score, and first baseman S can risk or out at first base. Okay. And basically that means if the first baseman has a strong arm, he can try to get the runner at home, but Jordan's arm is weak. So on that ground out, 3 unassisted. It's be an RBI for Shannon, and coming in to score run number 4 for the Pirates is Stork. We'll bring up George Gibson now with the bases empty. And Gibby, here comes the pitch. 31, and we go to Bell's card, and 31 is going to be a single. So rounding first base is Gibson, and the pitcher spot, Vic Willis, and he is going to try a sacrifice hit. Rating of 5, and he can't get it down, so that's 2 strikes on Willis. He's going to have to hit away now, and none of these results are going to be good for him. So that's going to be a ground out to the pitcher, and a pitcher with a weak arm is only going to be a fielder's choice, and Bell has an average arm, so that'll be a 1-6-3 double play. And the Pirates go down, but they get their run number 4 and lead this 4-0 heading into the bottom of the 4th inning. For the Superbas looking to claw back into this, it's going to be Lumley, Hummel, and Tim Jordan. Here we go. Vic Willis, his terrible stuff. Oh, actually, I've got to re-roll to see if he regains his average stuff. So if he rolls a 15 to 20 again, he will stay in column C, and he does not. So he's going to get bumped up to average now, column B. And again, that's a house rule, and I explained why I used that in the video I did yesterday, based on feedback from an actual someone who worked in scouting in major leagues. So Willis now pitching out of his B column goes to work here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 64 going to Willis's card. And left-handed bat, that's going to be a ball pounded off the plate. Pouncing out to get that is Gibson, and he fires down to first. 2-1 on the putout. And Lumley is retired to start the 4th inning for Brooklyn. Bring up John Hummel, and Hummel singled his first time up, one of the 2 hits that Brooklyn has at this point. And 22, that is going to be a single on 1-8, and 17, no. Instead, he pops that up, and going into foul territory to bring that in with both hands is Tommy Leach. So F5 and 2 down here for Tim Jordan. So working on 7 in a row of his own, Vic Willis. Actually 8 in a row. 52 and possible strikeout. No, we go to the defensive chart, and 52 is a possible error on the third baseman, would be a 2-base advance. And at third base for Pittsburgh again is Tommy Leach, and 6, he boots that and throws a ball away, trying to recover, and an E5 going to second base is Jordan. And in the dead ball error, lots of defensive lapses, as that'll bring up Alperman with a chance to get the Superbas on the board. Vic Willis gets a sign, kicks, delivers, and again going to the defensive chart. And 1-2 would have been a strikeout. So 52, that is going to be a potential pitcher error, 1-base advance. And Willis, very good defensive pitcher. It's got to be a 3 or less, and that is not going to happen. That will be a 1-3, and side is retired. So the Superbas, no hits, no runs, 1 error. They leave 1 as we head to the top of the 5th inning. It is Pittsburgh 4 and Brooklyn 0, and Pittsburgh doing what they need to do to hold serve in this pennant race replay, again from September 24th through the end of the season, meaning all games by Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh, Chicago, and New York after the Merkle game. So leading off the top of the 5th inning against George Bell is Roy Thomas, and 26 against a right-hander. That's going to be a single. So Thomas drives that through the wickets and brings up Fred Clark, and the Pirates are going to play some small ball here, get some insurance run, and 2 strikes on Clark. He's going to try and put it down again. Here comes the attempt, the pitch, and that is indeed a good bunt. And that is going to be fielded by the pitcher Bell, who throws out Clark and puts a runner in scoring position, 1-3 on the putout. Bringing up the 3 and 4 hitters for the Pirates, Tommy Leach and Hannes Wagner. Leach today has reached on a fielder's choice, has scored and grounded out. 36 to Leach, and 36 is going to go to the pitcher's card, and that will be an out. Fly out to center field, and second to third can advance on a risk. And in center field is Catterson. He has an arm of 3, so it would be 1-3 out, 4-6 safe. And with Wagner coming up, they're going to play it safe and hold Thomas at second. As the Pirates star shortstop steps up, and Wagner today is 2 for 2, double, 2 RBIs, and a stolen base. Here comes the pitch, 42, and that is going to be a walk. So Gibson wants no part of Wagner this 3rd time up. And the Pirates now runners on 1st and 2nd for Ed Apaticio. Apeticio has an RBI single in this game, 1 for 2, and 22 would have been a single on 1 to 8. 19, however, is going to be a walk, and the sacks are full of bucks. So Alan Stork, he is not the regular Pirates first baseman, but he can be a hero here with a hit, 35. And we're going to go to Bell's card, and that will be an out. So Stork, it's going to be a ground ball down to shortstop and fielded there cleanly by Tommy McMillan. Side is retired, and the Buccos leave the bases stranded. Get a hit and a couple of walks here in the 5th. We're heading to the bottom of the frame, 4-0, Pittsburgh in front and in command. For the Superbas, it's going to be McMillan, Sheehan, and Lou Ritter in the bottom of the 5th inning. 42 comes off the pitcher's card, and 1 to 8 will be a walk. Instead, that is above that. So that is going to be right-handed batter, ground ball down to shortstop. And Hannes Wagner scoops that up and hurls it across the diamond, sending dirt and rocks with it. And Wagner was known for that. He had such big hands that he would oftentimes field balls and scoop up a large amount of the dirt infield as well, and would often, as he threw the ball, other fielders and first basemen would say you also had several rocks coming at you as well. Wagner like a vacuum cleaner for that time period. So Tommy Sheehan the batter, and that is going to be an out. Sheehan, ground ball down to Wagner again, and a routine play again for Hannes. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 5th. And Wagner is a ball player. He did not look like a ball player. He was a big man, but kind of gangly, and again, long arms, big hands, bow-legged. But there was no doubt he was one of the smoothest ball players of the early 20th century. As Lou Ritter steps in to face Willis. And that's going to be a 3rd ground out to shortstop. And Hannes Wagner has to venture behind the bag to get this one, but he sets his feet, gets a throw off. And a 3-up, 3-down Hannes Wagner inning for Brooklyn as we head to the 6th. Still 4-0. Pirates in front and holding a comfortable lead. It'll be Spike Shannon and George Gibson in the pitcher spot. And Shannon, here comes a pitch, and Shannon gets a hold of that, drives that deep into the outfield. That's over the head of Harry Lumley in right. Shannon around second, coming into 3rd. Here comes a throw. He slides, and he is in with a triple. 2nd of the game for the Pirates. And 2nd time it has happened as the leadoff batter. So Gibson, 2nd time Shannon's done it actually. So Gibson now has a chance to bring home another run. Well, actually, I'm sorry, Stork did it last time. Infield will play at normal depth. I think they're resigned to their fate in this one. And 35 goes to the pitcher's card. That will be an out. So runner on 3rd scores. The put out is 4-3, and Pittsburgh extends their lead to 5-0. And RBI on the ground out for Gibson. That brings up the pitcher Vic Willis. Now comfortably in front. And as a reminder, Pittsburgh won this game in real life. 9/24/1908, 6-1. Here comes a pitch, and Willis is going to get a single off of Bell. That comes off the pitcher's card. So 1 down, back to the top of the order. And Bell is struggling as he did throughout most of the year, and this will be a potential walk on 1 to 15, and it is indeed 1 to 15. So drawing the base on balls is Roy Thomas. Runners at 1st and 2nd now, and Fred Clark the batter. No small ball here. He's going to hit away, 54, and that probably is not going to be good. So 54 chart, men on base, wild pitch, or pass ball. Refer to the pitcher's wild pitch rating. If 6 falls within range, it is, and the runners advance, and his wild pitch is a 9. So he uncorks one into the dirt, and trotting over to 3rd and 2nd respectively go Willis and Thomas. And Fred Clark now has the advantage of 2 runners in scoring position without the benefit of a bunt. And we go to the defensive chart, roll of 13 and 52. That's going to be a potential error on the 3rd baseman. And at 3rd base for the Brooklyn Superbas is Tommy Sheehan, 11 or less. And Sheehan boots that. That is a 1-base error, 2nd of the game for Brooklyn. And coming in to score is the pitcher Willis. Going over to third is Thomas and Fred Clark. Beneficiary of that bonehead play, that will be an unearned run for George Bell. And Brooklyn, they're going to have some action going down in the bullpen. And they have a very lean bullpen. They're going to get, holy cow. They're going to get Harry McIntyre up. So the days when starters did double duties in relief as well. All right, so back to the game. We have one out, and Tommy Leach, a chance to really put this out of range. 52, and again, we go to the defensive chart, but 2, and that's going to be a strikeout. So again, 50, any of the defensive roles, you check the pitcher's column, and Bell is a normal stuff, so that'll be the second out of the inning. And anything that crosses the plate now will be unearned, but not the man you want to face in this situation as Wagner steps in. And 15, that will be a walk on a roll of 1. It is not. That's going to retire the side. A sharp line drive hit right at the first baseman, and snagging that in self-defense is Tim Jordan, L3. But the Pirates add on a couple more, and they do so on 2 hits and a walk and an error. So we're heading to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is Pittsburgh 6. They've matched their run total in real life, and Brooklyn 0. They need to get one across. And it is going to be the pitcher spot, and Bell is going to get pulled. So Bell goes 6 innings, and he walks 1, 2, 3. Has a single strikeout, gives up 6 runs, 5 of them earned. And 9 hits. So Harry McIntyre is going to be the new pitcher for Brooklyn. And pinch hitting will be Al Birch. So Birch, a 243 hitter in 1908, which is a very down defensive year throughout baseball, actually. All right, leading off the 6th, Birch against Willis. Here we go. Back in action, and Birch, he's going to single. Start this off with a hit and a potential stolen base. And again, 3, and Willis is a weak arm, so he is indeed going to get the jump. So here comes the throw, and Birch down to second base, and he slides in, just gets in under the tag. A strong throw down there by Gibson, but Birch able to beat it. So back to the top of the order, and the Superbas with a runner in scoring position, and it would be pretty cool if this game ended 6-1 as it did in real life. Catterson the batter. 16, that's going to be a strikeout, though, as Catterson way out in front of that change up from Vic Willis, and that brings up Harry Lumley. Lumley today is 0 for 2. Here comes a pitch, and we are going defense once again. 53, this will be a range play, an infield single, third baseman. And technically, I guess I could use that initial 1D20, but I have not been using it throughout the game, so I won't do it now. So third baseman, and Sheehan has a range of 9, and he can't get to that. That'll be an infield single. Or whoops, I meant Tommy Leach, and he still doesn't get to that. So going over to third is Birch, and infield single for Lumley. So the Superbas are threatening here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Willis gets a sign, and 51 again, and these defensive roles, 51 is going to be a third base error. And Leach, again, a very good, well, fairly good defensive third baseman, error of 10, and he boots it, so that's going to bring home a run for Brooklyn on the E5. And going down to second base is Lumley, and it is indeed 6-1, which is how this ended in reality. That'll be an unearned run for Willis. And that'll bring up Tim Jordan. And Willis, only one out thus far. Here comes a pitch, 32, and 32 is going to go to Willis's card. That'll be an out. And it'll be a fly out to center field, and runners are on first and second. They will both hold, so 2 down. And Whitey Alperman will be the batter. Alperman, second baseman, is 1 for 2, single and a ground out to the pitcher. Here comes a pitch, and 63 going to Willis's card, and he's going to extricate himself from the inning. Another fly out to center field. Routine play out there for Roy Thomas, and side is retired. But Brooklyn takes advantage of an error and a couple of hits to get on the scoreboard. We're through 6. It is Pittsburgh 6 and Brooklyn 1. And IDJ wants a wake-up call when a ball is hit out of the infield. So since you're here, there's probably going to be an offensive explosion, since you know how you bring that curse to the dead ball error that you love so much. As we are in the top of the 7th, a new pitcher for the Superbas is Harry McIntyre, and I did not roll for his stuff yet, so we'll take this roll. 7, that will be his normal stuff. So everything comes out of the B column, and we'll start again. Ed Apaticio, the batter. 41 to Apaticio, and that will go to the pitcher's card. 41 will be a walk to start the 7th inning. So Apaticio down to first base. And Alan Stork, the batter, and staying true, the Pirates are going to keep playing small ball. And 5, Stork squares to bunt, and that is going to be a successful bunt. Fielded by the third baseman, who throws him out, and over to second base goes Apaticio. So the Pirates looking to pile it on here for Spike Shannon. Shannon tripled and scored his last time up. Here comes a pitch. 31 once again off the pitcher's card, and that will be a single. So second to home, a weak advances on a hit to left field, and we have a strong arm in left field, so you take your chance, and with an assist rating of 6, it's not going to happen, as holding on third is Apaticio. So runners at the corners now, and that will bring up the catcher, George Gibson, 1 down. McIntyre gets a sign, kicks and delivers. 35 going to McIntyre's card, and 35 single on a roll of 1 to 18. It is indeed, and the Pirates continue to pile it on. That'll be a single to left field, and first to third hold. If a 1 outfield assist, and that is not the case. So holding at second base is Shannon, an RBI single for Gibson as Apaticio comes in to score. It is 7-1 Pittsburgh now in the lead. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Vic Willis, with a comfortable lead here. McIntyre moistens up the ball. Here comes a pitch, and 51, we are going to the defensive chart yet again, and that's going to be a potential third base error. So at third base for the Buccos, Sheehan, error rating, Superbas, error rating of 9, and that's going to be the third error of the game for Brooklyn. So we're going to have bases loaded on that E5 now for the top of the order, as Pittsburgh looking to blow this open. And is this enough defense for you? Yeah, no, I like the fat cards, IDJ. It definitely is so much smoother than looking up charts, and they add so much flavor to the game too. Probably one of the biggest pluses for the game to me. 23 to Thomas with the bases loaded, double play depth, and going to be a fly out to left field, and third to home, an F or an F exclamation point advance, and that's going to be an average runner there. A strong runner, A runner holds, S runner might get thrown out, and that is an average, so everybody's holding. That's too shallow to get the run home. So again, the variety of results that come in with the fast action cards, you see it there. It could have been multiple possibilities for the runner scoring. So here we go. Fred Clark, 55, and Clark gets into that, and that's going to break it open. That is into the gap all the way to the wall. A bases clearing triple. And Pittsburgh, their third triple of the game. That is a 3 RBI variety. Coming in to score is Shannon Gibson and the pitcher Willis. And Pittsburgh now up 10-1, and every single one of those runs is unearned. So keeping very much in line with the dead ball era type of play, 54 to Tommy Leach, and we're going to the 54 chart with runner on base, wild pitcher pass ball. If the wild pitch rating is 18, it is not. So we will replay that. Leach gets set, 34, and 34 is going to be a single off McIntyre's card, and run number 11 comes into score, also unearned, as crossing the plate is Fred Clark, and Pittsburgh now up 11-1. Blowing this open, Hannes Wagner, the batter. They are taking Brooklyn to the woodshed, and off of Wagner's card, that's going to be finally, mercifully, an out. Ground ball down to second base. So the Pirates bat around. They score 5 runs on 5 hits. Have an error and a walk in there, and we are heading to the 7th inning stretch. It is 11-1, Pittsburgh over Brooklyn. And Willis is coasting. It'll be Sheehan, Ritter in the pitcher spot. 65 and 65, that is going to be an out. That would have been a potential home run off the pitcher's card if that result was not there. Instead, that will be a fly out to deep left field, but plenty of room to pull that in as Fred Clark. So 1 down for Brooklyn. And that brings up Tommy Sheehan, the batter. Willis gets a sign, kicks, delivers, and Sheehan blasts that into left field for a 1-out single. And Brooklyn not playing any base running games here. Lou Ritter's going to hit away. 35, and 35 will go to Willis's card, and that will be an out. So a right-handed batter, it's going to be a ground ball down to third base, and with a runner on first, fielder's choice, a second baseman with a strong arm turns a double play, and Apaticio is average, so that'll be a 5-4. Erased at second base is Sheehan. And 2 down for the pitcher spot, and down by 10 runs. Brooklyn is just going to let McIntyre hit and finish the game. 13, and that's going to end the inning as McIntyre, the right-handed batter, ground ball down to third base. Leach charges that, throws across his body, and side is retired. So the Superbas get a hit, leave 1 as we head to the 8th inning. Pittsburgh firmly in control in this one, 11-1, and they're going to hold serve in their first game of this 1908 pennant chase replay. Actually, there's 5 errors total, 3 by Brooklyn, 2 by Pittsburgh. I've rolled a lot of 50s in this one. Alex, thanks for joining us, buddy. Yeah, the dead ball era is super fun. Definitely my favorite time period of baseball. As Apaticio, after he led off the last inning, he'll lead off this one. And 41, that's going to go to McIntyre's card, and that is going to be a walk. And that is exactly how Apaticio led off the last inning. Pittsburgh will not be running or bunting, however, now. 65, and home run off the pitcher's card, -8. So McIntyre is 1-11. He's going to keep that in the park, and instead that will be a ground ball down to third base. And fielder's choice at second, and again, strong arm at second base, which is only average. So 5-4 on the putout. That retires Apaticio, and at first base is Stork. And that brings up Spike Shannon. Shannon's had a good day today. He has driven in a run, scored 2 with a triple and a single. He is 2 for 4. Here comes the pitch. And we end up on McIntyre's card. 36 will be an out. And left-handed batter, the switch hitting Spike Shannon. That's going to be a ground ball down to first base, 3-1 on the putout. Brings up George Gibson, the catcher, and Gibson had an RBI single and scored his last time up. He has 2 RBIs on the day. Here comes a pitch going to McIntyre's card, 43. It's going to be a fly out to shallow left field, and coming in to take that is Lumley. So the walk does not lead to additional carnage as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Pittsburgh comfortably up 11-1 in an offensive outburst for the dead ball era especially. It's going to be top of the order, Catterson against Willis, who looks firmly in place to complete the game. He can actually face 36 batters, so he is well within that currently. So 16, it's going to be a strikeout by Catterson to start off the 8th. Harry Lumley, the batter. And once again, we go to that dreaded defensive chart. This will be a range check, a shortstop single check. And if he fails this will be an infield single. That's short for Brooklyn with a range of a paltry 2. You can almost rack that one up. Lumley. I'm sorry. It's Wagner. Never mind. Wagner still can't get to it, though, so that'll be an infield single. So Lumley safe at first. Wagner a little bit better than 2 in terms of range. John Hummel, the batter. And Hummel today is 1 for 3. He's singled, reached on an error. Here comes a pitch. And 26 against the left-hander single, and that is not the case. Willis is right. That's going to be ground ball back to Willis. And fielder's choice at second base, pitcher with a strong arm, which Willis is weak, so that'll be a 1-6 put out. I really like the way that those results vary like that and can be affected by how strong of an arm. That's a very unique double play system in this game too. Other games use a certain range for a double play or a rating, a pivot rating like Inside Pitch uses. This relies on the arm, which is kind of unique, and it works well, especially as you can see with the fast action cards. So Tim Jordan now, the batter. 2 down, runner on first base. Here comes a pitch from Willis, and that's going to get Willis out of the inning as we're heading to the 9th. Fly ball to shallow right field for Jordan. Easy put out there for the right fielder of Pittsburgh, Spike Shannon, and we head to the top of the 9th. It is 11-1, Brooklyn in the lead, and it's going to be the pitcher spot Willis, and then top of the order Thomas and Clark here in inning number 9. And 61, Willis, we're going to McIntyre's card, and swing and a miss. Willis set down on strikes to start the 9th. Back to the top of the order. As you can hear Daisy in the background, rooting the Pirates on for more. 51, and that'll be another defensive check. Potential error on the first baseman. And at first base for Brooklyn, Jordan, no sense rolling. He has an error rating of 20, so error number 4 for Superbas. That'll be an E3, and Thomas is on at first for Fred Clark. Clark had a bases-clearing 3-run triple his last time up. 25, not going to be so fortunate this time, and that's going to be a line out to second base. Actually, we'll use the options here, so we'll use the 5 on the white die roll. That's a line out to third. And getting back to first easily is Thomas, 2 down, and that brings up Tommy Leach, third baseman Leach today. He is only 1 for 5. He has reached on a fielder's choice and scored, also has an RBI single. And he's going to get on base here with a single, and it's going to be driven into center field. First to third, a runner is going to hold, so runners at first and second for Hannes Wagner. And the Pirates cleanup hitter, one of the best hit. Actually, he was the best hitter in baseball this season, hitting .354 in a very down offensive year. 63, Wagner, that's going to be an out. And this is another unique thing. 60s, you can see on some pitchers' cards, they have strikeouts. And this just means Wagner does not strike out as much, so it takes away any possibility of strikeout there as Wagner lifts that into center field, and Pittsburgh is set down in the top of the 9th. They get a hit, leave a couple, and the 4th Brooklyn error does not come back to hurt the Superbas. So final inning here, it's going to be Vic Willis going for the complete game, and he'll be facing Whitey Alperman, Tommy McMillan, and Tommy Sheehan. Here we go, bottom of the 9th. 4-3 going to Willis's card, and that's going to be an out. fly out to center field, 1 down. Superbas shortstop Tommy Millen steps up, 61 and 61. Swing and a miss. Willis, a little bit of extra tobacco juice on that, and hard time picking it up was McMillan, and misses badly. Tommy Sheehan 2 down, and looking to put this away. 44. It's not going to end yet as he fights that off for a single, bloops that into left field, and he is going to try and steal as well. Actually, I'll use the green dice on that. 19, he does not get a jump. So Lou Ritter will be the batter, and 11, and that's going to be ball game, folks, as Ritter drives that into center field, and coming in to take that comfortably is Roy Thomas. 2-hands it, and ball game is over. So the Superbas get a hit in the 9th inning, but leave that runner at first, and ball game is over. A resounding victory for the Pittsburgh Pirates, 11-1. And again, holding serve. They needed to win this game because they did in real life. So holding serve to stay in the pennant race with the Giants and the Cubs. And final line score for the Pirates, 11 runs, 15 hits, 2 errors. For the Superbas, 1 run, 7 hits, and 4 very costly errors. Your winner is Vic Willis. Loser is going to be George Bell. And player of the game, give it to a bunch of people in a Pittsburgh uniform. We're going to go with Fred Clark. And Clark, actually, no. Actually, we'll go with Vic Willis. Willis only went 1 for 5 to the plate, but he scored 2 runs and pitched a fairly comfortable complete game victory. And that despite starting the game with his with bad stuff, and he was able to elevate that to average stuff in the 4th. But he does go the distance and only gives up 1 unearned run on a 7-hitter. So Pittsburgh, once again, from Washington Park here in Brooklyn. Ball game is over. The Superbas fall badly to the Pirates, 11-1. And I think this is going to be a fun project. Like I said, if you joined late, I'm going to play out all of the games for the Pirates, Giants, and Cubs from September 24th, 1908 to the end of the season. And, of course, that is related to the Merkle game on September 23rd, which basically took the pennant away from the Giants because they ended up tied with the Cubs and lost that game. So we're seeing now if Pittsburgh, which was a game behind both teams at that point, can make that up and maybe steal a pennant from both of them. So we will see as this goes on. Thanks to everyone joining us. Al, Red Sox fan, appreciate you joining on your way home from work. Steeler fan 1933, Matt, and Robert, RJL 518. He's got some fall classic baseball going as well as some payoff pitch. Captain Carl and Crazy A. It is this really, I mean, to me, these were the best pennant races across both leagues in history. To this day, both pennant races have held up well. And I know Tony's not here, but he actually ordered the book Crazy 08 based on the video yesterday. Very enjoyable read. If you have not read that, I would highly recommend it if you're interested in this era. IDJ's got some APA going, got a big load of APA cards, and I've got a game to catch up on there. Alex M., thanks for joining us as well. So hope everyone has a great night. Remember, if you're not smiling, you're not doing it right. Take care, everyone. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. We will see you later.